Good afternoon, Mets fans, and welcome to a Wednesday edition of Driving with Mr. Met, an unexpected Wednesday edition. As I mentioned yesterday, I didn't think I'd be able to record a video today, but here we are. Depending on the outcome of last night's game, I think I might have avoided this. But last night's game was pretty damn good, and I want to talk about it today, and I want to prep for the next couple of days. As well as the completion of this current homestand that the Mets are on right now, on today's unexpectedly brief afternoon show. On Monday night, the Mets opened up the homestand with the Phillies with Steven Matz on the mound. And Steven Matz pitched one of the best games he's ever pitched in his career. And Zack Wheeler was in the dugout saying, "Hold my beer," because last night Zack Wheeler came out and put up the best start of his career. He pitched brilliantly, struck out 11 Phillies, was very uncharacteristically economical with his pitches. Even though he had so many strikeouts, Wheeler just was absolutely brilliant last night. And the best part is if you watched his post-game interview, he was still kind of critical of himself, and I love that about him. I love that about guys that don't rest on their laurels, that don't take, what although results might be great or whatever. They felt like they could have done stuff better, and they're honest about that. That's an awesome way to be, and it's the way that you look at a guy who you might want to invest in and say, this guy's only going to keep getting better because he's got this mindset. Now, of course, there's more to it than just having the mindset, but having that mental toughness and that ability to sort of self-analyze yourself even when you're doing well is huge, and Wheeler clearly has it. Not only did Wheeler pitch a brilliant game, but he was also the offensive star of the game. He hit his first career home run last night on a night when both Howie and Wayne were both talking about the fact that the ball's just not carrying tonight. Like, there were a couple of really high and hard hit balls early in the game by both teams that sort of died up in the air and didn't exit the park. And then Wheeler comes up and hits an opposite field home run. So good for Zach. I'm happy for him. And these last two games with Wheeler and Matz on the mound against the Phillies, who are admittedly a little bit beleaguered right now with some guys on the DL, but it doesn't matter. The win is still the win. But the point of this is these two guys are on the mound at their absolute peak, doing what we expect of Wheeler and Matz, of what we expect of DeGrom and Syndergaard. And if this Mets pitching staff pitches the way we expect it to, and the way that scouts believe that it can, and the way that we've seen them pitch in the past, combine that with this offense that the Mets have right now, this team is on pace to do some really fantastic things if things continue to go in the proper direction. Without the pitching staff, though, I don't care how many runs they score. Every game is going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be uncomfortable. The last two games were terrific. They were fun to watch. And, what can I say? It was just a completely refreshing view of the New York Mets last night. Back-to-back unbelievable starts by two pitchers who are certainly capable, but haven't been doing it yet this year. So I wanted to be sure to record this video because I'm going to be going out of town this afternoon, and I will be out of town until next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. I will be home in between, but I'm not going to have much time to record any videos, I don't think. So the expectation for the next Driving with Mr. Met should be Thursday, May 2nd. Now that's 8 days from now. And the Mets will have played 6 games up to that point, with the 7th one being that night. After today, their game with the Phillies wrapping up tonight with Jason Vargas on the mound. After tonight's game, the Mets have an off day tomorrow, and then the Brewers come in for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend set, followed by the Reds coming in for a 4-game set Monday through Thursday of next week. So the positive right now is that the Mets took the first 2 from the Phillies at home and are on, a Jason Vargas performance away from a sweep. I'm not holding my breath, but I'll be surprised pleasantly if that were to happen, of course. I won't be able to listen to the game tonight because I will be on a plane, so forget that. This might be for the best, that I don't have to hear or see any Vargasness. But I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens tonight. And more importantly, this weekend series with the Brewers. The Brewers are one of the best teams in the National League, and this will be another big test for the Mets. DeGrom will be back on the mound on Friday. Hopefully things are back in order for Jake. His illness issues are a thing of the past, and he's back to being the pitcher we know he can be. Speaking of illness, it's worth throwing this out here too before I wrap up. There was a story on SNY that talked, I think it was SNY, either there or maybe I saw it on Twitter, but it talked about how although Noah Syndergaard did not use this as an excuse, and he really didn't, he has been sick for the last week or so. So I've been kind of down and sour on Syndergaard, and maybe I shouldn't be, because maybe his performance was due to illness. And that's been the case for a lot of these Mets pitchers and players this season. They've been under the weather, and there's this illness flipping through the clubhouse that is really knocking people out. So I'm not going to retroactively remove any game ball or goat changes there. People that were goated, and that's that, whether they were sick or not. But I had to be a little bit more cognizant of the fact that these are human beings, and we can't expect them to be completely perfect all the time. So that'll wrap it up for today, and for the week, and for the month, actually, since April will be over more than likely before the next time I'm recording again. So until whenever that time may be, thank you for watching. I will be active on Twitter for the next week or so you can check me out there if you want to follow my game thoughts and whatnot. They're there at Mr_Met. Thanks for watching again, and as always, let's go Mets.